Russia, it's weaponizing Melania's past. I don't know if you know this, but on Russian TV, they frequently show Melania nude in order to mock Donald Trump. So they show all these photos of Melania. By the way, Melania's previously made posts about how proud she is of her nudes, but did you know that after Donald Trump and Melania met, she got what was called an Einstein visa? She was treated like a genius, an exceptional achievement visa that gave her a fast track to become a United States.
Donald Trump's storybook marriage to Melania is starting to look more like a thriller than a fairy tale. Forget what you've heard about their love story. What's really going on is full of secrets, deals, and hidden motives.
Melanians.
Patience might be running out. New details are coming out about how she entered Trump's world, and it wasn't because of love. It was a setup. Behind the fancy clothes and perfect smiles, there's a story tied to some of the most troubling. Names in America like Jeffrey Epstein, Ghislaine Maxwell, and yes, Donald Trump himself.
So I think we should explore, how did Donald Trump meet Melania on or around the same time he was best friends with Jeffrey Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell? We should build a timeline here. You see, Donald Trump went to a club in Manhattan called the Kit Kat Club, where there were parties that were frequently thrown for very rich Manhattan elites, businessmen, to mingle and find very young models from Eastern Europe. And Melania was a model from Eastern Europe who was brought to the United States, who would attend these parties where the rich men would show up and mingle with the...
Before Melania ever stepped into Trump Tower, Donald was already in hot water. He was caught up in scandals involving much younger women, according to the London Sunday Mirror. Trump had a thing for young British models and was introduced to a 20-year-old by none other than Ghislaine Maxwell. She wasn't the only one. Maxwell reportedly brought several women to Trump. This wasn't a coincidence, it was a pattern. The people involved, Trump, Maxwell, Epstein, are all connected to disturbing allegations. Trump's closest associates tied to secret parties, controversial women, and models. This isn't a love story, it's a political mess. No amount of red hats can hide the truth.
Shall we? So what was Donald Trump doing in 1997, the year before he meets Melania? Well, in 1997, he's out there partying with Epstein and Ghislaine. This is from the London Sunday Mirror. This is 1997. How sweet. Trump's Brit of all, right? Just weeks after ditching his second wife, America's best-known billionaire Donald Trump has fallen under the spell of a 20-year-old English girl. Was before Melania, okay? This is 1997. Trump 50, who has failed in his bid to secure the services of Princess Diana's butler, Paul Burrell, was in search of another British trophy when he met London model Anushka DeGiorgio at a party in Manhattan. Several American millionaires already had their eyes on Anushka, but she was there with Robert Maxwell's daughter, Ghislaine, who has introduced several of her attractive friends to the property developer.
By the time Trump officially met Melania in 1998, it was all planned. Their meeting wasn't random. It was set up by Paolo Zompli, a man with deep ties to the modeling world and Trump's ambassador to Italy. Zompli ran events filled with imported women, and Trump was a regular. That night, at a club called Kit Kat, Trump met Melania, surrounded by champagne and cameras. Zompli helped her get an Einstein visa, a special program meant for geniuses, not nude models. Melania got fast-tracked to U.S. citizenship, even as Trump publicly criticized immigration. It's a clear example of privilege and hypocrisy.
So Melania gets the expedited path based on an Einstein visa after meeting Donald Trump at the Kit Kat Club. Then she brings in her family, and now Donald Trump's against all of those same policies. Now, Melania is no, innocent person in all of this either. Melania, after Donald Trump, was caught on video bragging about sexually assaulting women and grabbing women by their genitals. And he says, because if you're rich, they let you do it. She said that's locker room talk and that she was okay with it. Here, play this clip.
He described it as locker room talk. To you, you sort of alluded to that as well. Is that what it is to you, just locker room talk?
Yeah, it's kind of two teenage boys. Actually, they should behave better, right?
He was 59.
Correct. And sometimes I said, I have two boys at home. I have my young son and I have my husband. So, but I know how some men talk, and that's how I saw it, yes.
Melania didn't become First Lady through politics or public service. She rose through modeling and connections. After marrying Trump, she used her position to bring her family to the U.S. under the same immigration policy Trump regularly attacks. Think about that. She benefited from the very immigration policies he spoke out against. She got a green card, brought her parents in, and stood by Trump as he attacked immigrants. What does that tell us about her values? It's not just hypocrisy. It's privilege at work. Melania didn't just go along with it, she thrived in it. But her silence came at a cost. When Trump's infamous Access Hollywood tape surfaced, where he bragged about assaulting women, Melania dismissed it as locker room talk. She didn't care that he was 59. She defended him like a young boy who made a mistake. It wasn't ignorance, it was brand protection. When your husband violates basic decency, do you stand by him or do you take a stand? Melania chose the former and helped normalize his worst behavior.
And then she was also one of the biggest spreaders of the birther conspiracies against former President Obama. She was used by Donald Trump frequently to go and attack Obama. Here, play this clip.
But what is this with the birth certificate obsession? Did he ask to see yours when you met him?
I needed to put mine anyway, because if you want to become an American citizen, you need to put the birth certificate.
Right.
I have a birth certificate from Slovenia. And do you want to see President Obama birth certificate or not?
I've seen it.
It's not a birth certificate.
Well, it's a certificate of live birth,
Right,
which they give. But Melania, if he insists on what he's saying, then no one in Hawaii can ever run for president because they all get the same live birth certificate.
Well, but they need to have...
That is finished, for example.
They need to have, and in one way, it will be very easy if President Obama just show it. And because it's not only Donald who wants to see it, it's American people who voted for him and who didn't vote for him. They want to see that.
But it's on display in Chicago. We've seen it on the internet. We've seen it. It's not the same as yours, but it's a certificate of live birth.
Well, we feel it's different than birth certificate.
All right. Well, I think you should give it up at this point.
Well, it's not him that is bringing up. It's the media all the time.
While Trump faced backlash for his crude remarks, Melania didn't flinch. She had long come to terms with the man she married. But she wasn't just passive in Trump's behavior, she actively pushed his darkest conspiracy theories. Remember the birther movement? That racist smear campaign questioning Barack Obama's citizenship? Melania played her part, casting doubt on national TV, suggesting Obama should just show it. She wasn't misinformed. She knew exactly what she was doing. She was fully on board with Trump's racist rhetoric. This wasn't a quiet first lady. This was someone amplifying lies, sowing division, and working to help her husband rise to power. That's not innocence. It's full alignment with his agenda. While the world cringed over Trump's affair with Stormy Daniels, Melania wasn't just angry, she was humiliated. Her former friend and advisor, Stephanie Winston Wolkoff, revealed that Melania's fury wasn't about the affair itself, but because Stormy was featured in Vogue. Melania reportedly sneered. They put the porn star in Vogue. Let that sink in. It wasn't the betrayal that hurt, was the jealousy over the publicity Stormy received. She didn't care about Trump's infidelity. She cared about the magazine cover. This shows how superficial and calculated Melania's concerns really are. Her dignity wasn't damaged by her husband's actions. It was bruised by another woman getting attention in the media.
And of course, Melania would plagiarize Michelle Obama's speech at the Democratic National Convention. Literally, Melania's speech during Trump's first Republican National Convention was literally copy and pasted of Michelle Obama's speech. Let's play it for you.
The values that you work hard for what you want in life.
For what you want in life.
That your word is your bond.
That you do what you say you're going to do.
Keep your promise.
That you treat people
with
dignity and respect, because we want our children and all children in this nation to know that the only limit to the height of your achievements is the reach of your dreams and your willingness to work hard for them.
That cold detachment didn't start with Stormy Daniels. It's always been there. Whether it's ignoring Trump's scandals or copying Michelle Obama's speech at the Republican National Convention word for word, Melania stood on that stage, looked Americans in the eye, and delivered a speech she didn't even write. A speech stolen from a black First Lady her husband regularly insulted? It wasn't a mistake, it was a statement. Tone-deaf, shameless move that showed exactly what the Trump brand stands for: plagiarism, entitlement, and erasure. Instead of apologizing, they doubled down. Because for Melania and Donald, truth and originality don't matter, only how things look. Out about the grift, no matter who it hurts. Speaking of grifts, Melania turned her platform into a cash machine. Forget about causes or leadership. She's raking in money from digital roses and vanity NFT projects. Her Meta Rose NFT flopped hard, but not before Trump supporters dropped $150 on a pixelated image. Why? Because Melania sold herself as elegant, classy, and mysterious. But behind the silk gloves, she's a calculated influencer, cashing in on her husband's political base. Her stylist makes $18,000 a month from Trump's political PAC. And that's just the start. Melania charges $155,000 per speaking gig. She sits, smiles, and collects a check. Who's paying? It's the same forgotten Americans Trump claims to fight for. And she's laughing all the way to the bank.
And now Melania pretty much just grifts. She has her meme grift, which the meme coin crashed. She sells her book, Why Do I Stand Proudly Behind My Nude Modeling Work. Melania was with her personal stylist, Pierre Brallard, who's paid about $18,000 a month. Her stylist gets paid $18,000 a month from Trump's PAC. So Trump's supporters, who demanded the release of the Epstein files, who Donald Trump's calling stupid, they've funded the stylist for her. Oh, by the way, she's gotten paid $155,000 for doing speaking engagements for Donald Trump. She shows up at a location, she sits at a location, she gets paid $155,000 for doing that.